Jane had hoped that moving on to hunting pirates in the belts of 0.6 security systems would be more of a challenge, but the pirates here and the bounties on offer weren't significantly harder or higher than what she'd already seen in the 0.7 system she came from. And the hunt for modules amongst the wrecks was, disappointing. As a child, you may have read about Jane in a popular series of books used in school to teach children how to read. But the conventional happy image of her life painted in those stories was a lie. All grown up now, she has become a capsuleer with a chip on her shoulder and a commitment to follow 4 rules she calls her guiding stars. These are the adventures of Jane Honesty, and in this challenge, we shall see how and how far Jane can fly while staying true to her convictions. It's probably worth going back to review just why Jane is hunting pirates in high-security asteroid belts. Jane's primary goal right now is to get herself shipped up from flying this Velator she was given upon graduation from the Federation Naval Academy. But because she can't work for career agents or buy one from the player market, she has to build one herself. And that means buying a blueprint from an NPC. The price tag for that, depending on the frigate, is between 1.2 and 1.8 million ISK. And along the way there are other expenses for buying skill books for things like flying drones, repair systems operation, navigation, and the list goes on. So Jane's plan has been to hunt pirates. She's been combing through their wreckage for modules to add and replace the civilian-level items on her ship, and she's been using the bounties she's been collecting to buy a few new skills. And by now, Jane has enough armor, speed, and firepower to move on to the next natural step in her progression, which is belts in 0.5 security systems. And she has her sights, too, on trying out some combat anomalies. But first, the nearest convenient 0.5 system is Balle, 3 jumps away. So let's go.
Warp drive active.
We've been flying around Balle for a while now, and we've cleared the first 5 belts. So far, we've picked up a couple stacks of charges, the obligatory metal scraps, and an initiated compact warp disruptor. Jane's beginning to wonder if 0.5 belt ratting is as slow-going as everywhere else in high-security space. Field. Half armor. Here's hoping we can get through before our armor runs out. We're into his structure for number 2. Guy farther off. drones take him out. I guess he can't hit us from there. Yep. We will have to dock up and repair. It would be nice to have an armor repairer so as not to have to do that. He's almost gone. Alright. Good job, little drones. So the lesson to be learned there is that we can do it. But not without having to go back and dock up afterwards. If we can find an armor repairer, that would go a long way. Maybe a damage control as well. I wonder how I got my afterburner off. Oh, a limited light neutron blaster. Well, there we go. We've got some charges. Alright. The nice thing about being in a Velator is not only do we get to use the ship for free, but we get to repair it for free. 0 ISK. So all repaired. Now, if we go to fitting, we can remove one of these and put this one on. And let's check our range with that. We have a 4,200 meter range, 4,000, almost 300. And with this, we have 4,700 for lead. We're going to do less damage. But either way, if we open this up, we are doing 43 DPS, 23 of which is from the drones. So it looks like the guns do 20 DPS in all. Yeah, even with the lead, not bad. That is way better than that, which is doing 7 something. So, yeah, we'll go with that. Put these back in the hold. So if we run out of lead, we'll switch over to the uranium, no problem. All right, away we go. We finished the rest of the belts in Balle without any other difficulties and no significant loot. There's another 0.5 system, Buffet, next door, so we're on our way there to give high security belt ratting one last chance. Alright, so Buffet only has one belt, and there's nothing there. But there's yet another 0.5 system next door again, so on to Del Toll. Really, if we don't find anything here, we're not going to do this high-sec belt ratting anymore. Again, nothing, so we're on our way back home. Maybe we'll try a couple belts again on the way back through, just to say we did. Huh. Well, at least the bounty payout is better. That 91,000 ISK tick is probably the highest tick yet. our armor repairer, finally. Home sweet home, back in Nashi. It's time to fit our stasis webifier, and that will help slow things down when they get close to us or when we get close to them, making them easier to hit. And it's time to put on our, oh come on now, time to put on our armor repairer, swapping out our plates that we had on there before. And by doing that, we've lost some of our damage buffer, but we make up for it by being able to restore our armor as we go. And that leaves just this last empty low slot and this civilian Gatling railgun that we would like to replace for something with a little more bang. Now, we could keep poking around in the wrecks of our enemies to find a second gun and something useful for that low slot. But by now, we have enough ISK in the bank to take matters a little bit more into our own hands. Let's start with this low slot. We can get some of our damage buffer back if we put a damage control unit in there. I'm going to simulate here. And if we put a damage control unit in there, oh, I guess I need to show in industry, and the outcome is one of the damage there. So if we put a damage control in there, that gets us some of our buffer back. We're up over 1100 again. Now, we're not going to get a damage control unit by searching through Serpentis wrecks. Serpentis just don't drop those, so we are going to have to build it with a damage control 1 blueprint. Fortunately, only 4 jumps away, we can get a blueprint for 50,000 ISK. Next, the guns. We found this limited light neutron blaster, and that's a really nice gun to have. But if we were to put in another neutron blaster, let's see, neutron blaster, neutron blaster 1, light, any kind of light neutron blaster. Limited neutron blaster 1. Or another limited light neutron blaster 1, even if we get lucky. We're losing, or we're over our power limit. Our skills just aren't up to the task of having 2 of these active at one time. So we can't really use that. If we get a different kind of gun that is a little less power hungry, that would be better. So that gives me the idea that if we unfit both of these, and if we go with an ion blaster instead, just change that out for ion blaster, and a light ion blaster 1 uses 1 megawatt less power grid than a neutron blaster. So we were 2 over before, and if we fit ions instead, we have exactly enough power on our grid to do that. And 3 jumps away, an NPC has an Ion Blaster 1 blueprint that we can buy for 90,000 ISK. So finally, with 2 guns that require hybrid charges for ammunition, we don't want to rely on finding enough ammunition to use in pirate wrecks. We need a reliable supply. Now, there are several types of hybrid charges to choose from, and eventually we'll probably end up making several kinds, but for starters, I'm going to go with thorium. Why? Because I think it's a good compromise between range and damage, and by that I mean that something like antimatter charges would deal a lot more damage, but they have a very short range, especially with blasters. On the other hand, something like an iron charge would have a relatively longer range, but the damage output is pretty low, comparatively anyway. So thorium is in the middle of the scale for both range and damage, and a thorium charge blueprint is available right here in station for 60,000 ISK. So we'll get all 3 of those blueprints, we will make the things, and we'll fit them to the ship. And next time, we'll see what a fully fit Velator can do. I'm Casparius, and again, I want to say simply, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and thank you for watching. I know there are probably 1,001 things you could be doing right now, but you chose to spend 20 minutes to play Eve Online with me. I don't take that for granted. Thank you.